Islam Moors. I'm going to wait for a couple of people to get online. This is a, what is this? Public notice. This is public notice.
Mama,
it's hot today, so...
Your watermelon is in the kitchen. Yuri, you know Papa can watch this.
So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes to see if people jump on real quick. But this is a notification. Notification, y'all. This is notification. Notification. And I need your support as it relates to a lawful affidavit that I need to send out to the United States Postal Service, the United States Post Office, for the Postmaster General, as well as the Consumer Advocate. I'm going to post all this information on the website, so you have the information that you need. Moors, I'm going to consistently send you to the website because I can't do a lot of public notifications. One, because I'm very, very busy. And two, I'm trying to push you, Islam, push you to the website because there's an urgent message on the website because we know a lot of Moors all over the country, Moroccan, because this is Morocco, are having a lot of issues as it relates to the United States Postal Office, the United States Post Office. Some people think that they are the United States Postal Service, but they are subject to the supreme laws of the land, just like any other corporation operating here at North Mestre, Morocco, Islam. So again, I'm going to keep pushing you Moors to the website. I'm going to keep pushing you to the website. It's www.moorishamericanconsulate.org. That is www.moorishamericanconsulate.org. On the home page, we have an urgent message just to let Moors know they are intentionally obstructing your mail, intentionally not allowing it to get here. And this is an issue that all Moors are being dealt with. Now, when I send mail out, it gets to where it's supposed to go. As long as you Moors know what your mailing location is and you have the accurate information. So, Moors, I need you to understand that there are some laws that you need to know that are being violated. You need to know that no one has the right to search. That means look into a database to see who domiciles at that so-called mailing location. That's a violation. Their job, the United States Post Office's job, is to push the mail. Whatever you have addressed on that mail, it's supposed to make it from point A to point B. It is supposed to make it point A to point B. So if point A has a mailing location and point B has a mailing location, it's supposed to make it all the way there. Guess the only times it's supposed to be undeliverable if the so-called mailing location doesn't exist, and that means it could not be delivered, or if maybe the person that or the individual that domiciles in that mailing location says this person doesn't live here, and will say undeliverable or turn to sender, and they will put it back into the mail box. But the post office doesn't have the right to do that unless instructed by either the sender or the receiver. That is the sender or the receiver. Islam. So when I put specific mailing locations on the documents, which is why I verify your mailing location based on the information that you provide for me, I verify that. So whatever I get, I put on that mailing document. I track everything because I know what and who we're dealing with. We're dealing with a service corporation, not the actual government. We're dealing with a service corporation, not the actual government, who's here to provide a service. That service is predicated based on the supreme laws of the land, Islam. So again, I'm going to always point you to the website. The website is www.moorishamericanconsulate.org. And on that website, if you go to that website right now, there's an urgent message to all Moors. There's an urgent message to all Moors to let them know, yeah, they're obstructing your mail to come here. They're obstructing it. They're sending it back to you. They're sending it back to you saying undeliverable, which is a violation, which is why you're supposed to be filing grievances. I'm filing grievances on your behalf. I'm filing grievances on your behalf, which will be followed up with UCC1 international liens on the actual post office that's obstructing. So right now, what we do know is that it's making it all the way to the mailboxes in Vineland, New Jersey. Either the distribution center, employees in the distribution center are obstructing, or employees at that particular mailing location are obstructing down on Landis Avenue. We're not sure which one, which is why we filed the grievance, and it's going to follow up with all the tracking numbers that we have, which is why I am doing this Facebook Live. I'm doing this Facebook Live because I need all the tracking numbers. I need all the tracking numbers for the documents that have been returned. So I'm imploring you, Moors, to send me an email. The email address can be located on the website. If you go to the website and you go to the Moorish American Consulate page, you will see the email address that you need to send the tracking numbers if you have a picture of the outside of the package, please give me a picture of the outside of the package as well as the tracking number. But the tracking number should be on the outside of the package, and hopefully before you mailed it, you took a picture of the outside of the package and you have the tracking number. We tell everybody to send documents certified. Return receipt would be a great option as it relates to service, but if you just want to send it certified so it's tracked. And the reasons why we want to track it, because some employees of the United States Post Office don't realize their activities all day are being monitored. They're being monitored because they are federal employees. And because they're federal employees, when they go into those buildings, they don't have privacy. When they go to work, they absolutely don't have privacy because that department is supposed to make sure the mail is moving and it's not being obstructed or tampered with. Islam? You can't tamper with mail. You can't move. You can't. You're not even supposed to put anything on the outside of that mail, on the outside of that package, because that is also tampering. They're doing all these things because they don't know the law. Islam, it is our responsibility to teach everybody, including ourselves, because we, for a long time, have been operating outside of ourselves, and that has allowed all of these so-called corporate persons as well as corporations to do the same. So at the end of the day, it is on us as the heirs to the estate because we haven't been doing our job. Islam. So if you go to the consulate website, you'll see my lovely picture and the mail. And the email address at the bottom. Now it's supposed to be a click link, whereas though you can click it, but you can see my email address is there. You can copy it, and then you can paste it into your email exchange server. So you can send me an email of the picture of your package as well as the certified mail tracking information. So I can attach that to this big affidavit of fact that I'm sending out to consumer advocates for the United States Postal Service as well as the Postmaster General, who's responsible to make sure all their employees are not violating the law because it's a federal offense, which carries a $5,000 per violation fine as well as time in jail. And I'm gonna post all of this information on the website. So ignorance is not bliss. It absolutely hurts you. And ignorance of the law is not a defense for violating it. You will be held for every violation, which is a charge, which is a debt. A debt you will owe because of the violations of the law. So anyway, I'm contacting you as it relates to the website. All urgent messages are going to be placed on the website. This is an urgent message to let Moors know. I have filed a grievance as well as a complaint with the Postmaster General of the for New Jersey, the Vineland area of New Jersey, as well as the Washington District of Columbia, which they all are particularly under jurisdictionally. Islam. I was like, so what I want you Moors to do is, one, make sure you are taking a picture of the outside of your package. Two, make sure before you put your documents in your package, you have scanned them into your own database under a PDF file. Three, when you send me your documents in the mail, make sure you have you give me your tracking information. Make sure you have a picture of the outside of the package, as well as make sure you have made a copy of it and email it to the email address that I have provided, so we can find out who in those facilities are obstructing, because everybody's not doing it. We don't want to blame the particular people that are not doing it, but we want to hold accountable the supervisors and the Postmaster General for making sure they are doing their job when they are at work and they're not violating your rights or my rights. Islam. So in addition to that, you want to also make sure, what else did you want to make sure? I can't remember what else you wanted to make sure. So what was it? Before you mail your documents out, make sure you're mailing it, you're addressing it, or the mailing location is the Moorish American Consulate, care of 722 East Landis Avenue, Box 127, near Vineland, New Jersey, 08360. This is on the home page as an alert, so you know what to do. Islam, don't put anything else on the package. If you don't want to put anything on the package, if you don't want to put Moorish American Consulate on the package, you can just put Fatima, Judiciary Member Fatima Yasmin El Basir Bey. Like I said, all this information is on the page for your edification. Islam. So like I said, when I give notices, when I give alerts, I'm going to post them on the website, and I'm going to let you know. So again, make sure for those people whose documents have come back to them because of undeliverable, make sure you so I can add your grievance to my grievance. Make sure you give me the tracking number, and make sure you've taken a picture of the outside of the package so I can add that to my claim and my grievance. Islam, as well as my lien, which is why they'll be getting lien, because they're allowing the violations, because I've already contacted them in relationship to this on several occasions, and they should be making sure those individuals within those facilities should not be obstructing the mail. And it is also your due diligence for Moors who have been having this issue to, one, make sure you're labeling the package appropriately. That's either you're going to label it Moorish American Consulate or Fatima Yasmin El Basir Bey, as well as care of 722 East Landis Avenue, Box 127, near Vineland, New Jersey, Republic 08360. Again, it's on the website. It's on the home page. So you don't have to be writing it down while I'm talking to you now. Just go to the home page and look on the home page for that information. Islam, we always track everything. So we have because when you even try to do a grievance, they're going to ask you for the tracking number. You can't put a grievance in because they have no way to validate it if you don't have an actual tracking number. You should not be paying more than certified mail. Certified mail is between 8 to 10 notes, sometimes 5, but it depends on how many documents you have in there for the individuals. Islam. So you could be sending in nationality documents for one person versus a multitude of people. Like for ID orders, you can do those online. Send the order form online. Send a copy of your photo online, just as long as it's a really good high res type of photo. We should have no problems doing completing your orders without you having to necessarily mail anything in. This is only as it relates to nationality documents, because every other document that you send for recording, for processing, for whatever reasons you're sending it, you can send those PDFs through the email exchange. You don't necessarily have to send us actual originals in, because you've already gone through the nationality process. Islam. So this is an urgent message out to you, Moors, again, as it relates to the United States Post Office, because of the obstructions that are going on. And again, we've already talked about what those obstructions are. Later on today, I should be doing the third class for the County Sheriff's Office Handbook. It should be the conclusion to that. So it'll be the third installation. The other two documents, the other two classes should be already uploaded. So if you haven't already seen those classes, please go watch those classes. Again, I'll try to have the class between 3 to 4. Not sure, but check the calendar. I'll put this information on the calendar. Again, the calendar is located on the home page. You want to go there because it's going to give you our schedule as well as what's going on any particular day, and if we have any new events or any new classes that we want to let the Moors know beforehand. So if you want to be a part of those distributions, just let me know. Islam. So that's the end of this broadcast. Again, we'll probably come on either 3 or 4 o'clock to do the third installation of County Sheriff's Office. Plus, Moors, you got to know the difference between the United States Republic and the corporate United States. Well, there are two different bodies, and only the Moors represent the de jure government. Everybody else is under the so-called corporate United States, which does not have any territory jurisdiction, and you need to know the difference. Taj Tariq Bey, Grand Chief Taj Tariq Bey, already talked about what the differences are as it relates to the United States Service Corporation, which is trying to claim as if they are government. They're not government. They're a for-profit corporation. They have to have consent, which is why you keep giving them consent. I have no idea. They got to have consent before they can do anything. Islam, I'll probably bring some of that up in this class as well, because I'm about tired of y'all not knowing the difference between the service corporation and the de jure government. You are the government. They are a service corporation. First of all, they can't recognize you because you... Why would you want to be recognized? That means you're under their jurisdiction. They only can recognize you if you're under their jurisdiction. Know what the root word of recognizing means. It means jurisdiction. That's what it means. So stop asking for something that you absolutely don't want. And if you did, why'd you nationalize? I don't get it. I mean, but these are things that we'll actually have a conversation about while we're going over the class between 3 or 4 today. The last installation of the county sheriff's county handbook, because they are the law enforcement. They're supposed to know the law, and the only law that they're supposed to be operating under is the de jure law. Understand, the continental United States never gave jurisdiction or authority for a United States corporation, service corporation, to even be established or developed. We never authorized it, so it's notwithstanding. Moors, you need to know these things. You need to go to classes. I don't care about what you ain't got Moors in your neighborhood and all these different things. You gotta get in where you fit in. This is why we have the classes. This is why I made it such was very diligent in getting the website up and running, so you had a beacon light, and as Moors come together, that information will be on the website as well. So understand, the only issue Moors are having with is recognizing their damn self, realizing who they are. Stop being scared of operating in your nobility, and stop looking for somebody to blame on. It's on all of us, because we were operating outside of ourselves. It's on all of us, and it's our responsibility to do what we need to do going forward. And realize you gotta stop hiding behind these corporate shells, because they no longer are lawful, because we took them off the table. Moors, you gotta be yourself. Peace and love. See you at 3 or 4 o'clock. Not sure which one. I'm leaning towards 4 o'clock, but we shall see. To do the 3rd installation of County Sheriff's Office responsibility. You have to have an office elected to actually have authority. Your authority comes from someone else, doesn't come directly from you, and it only comes from the sovereigns. Islam, do you understand what I'm saying? But we'll talk about this later. Pax et Moor, make sure when you mail your documents out, you're putting either Moorish American Consulate or Fatima Yasmin Al Basir Bey on there. Make sure you're putting the correct mailing location on there. It's on the website, on the home page, for your edification, as well as make sure you're tracking your documents, you're making copies of your documents, and you are sending me the emails of your tracking numbers for those people whose documents have been sent back, so I can add you to my grievance as it relates to their violations of the law. And here's the question: why is it a violation of the law for them to be sending stuff back because of addressed? Do you know why that's a violation? Do you know what the so-called post office's responsibility? To push the mail. It's to push the mail. So the sender and the receiver are the ones that determine whether or not a document is undeliverable as addressed, because they don't domicile here. So if I was to get a package and it was not, and nobody in my domicile goes by that particular appellation or name or whatever, I'm going to put on that package undeliverable or unknown responded or whatever those little codes are. It's not their responsibility to be putting anything on your document. That's tampering with evidence, and that's also tampering with the mail, which is a federal offense. And these employees need to know that. They know that they got to put a mask on for COVID. They know they got to put a mask on for COVID, and the so-called states are not under the so-called federal buildings are not so-called under the so-called state jurisdictions who've lifted the mandate. Well, you know that much. Well, won't you keep going and read the actual laws that support the people that are doing business with you before they put you out of business through the international liens? Islam, I was like, so definitely send me your tracking numbers for your documents that have been returned along with a picture. Islam, and when you send me emails, please title them appropriate so I know what you want. Because it's not me. I can't read your mind. I cannot read your mind. I can only read what you said and do what you asked. Islam? Pax et Moor, see you at 4 o'clock to go over the 3rd installation of County Sheriff Handbook. Peace and love.